Howdy. Most independent filmmakers I know cut their teeth on one particular genre of filmmaking: weddings. And these aren't your Uncle Jim with a camcorder in the background type of weddings. These types of weddings were types of weddings. For the first 5 years of my filmmaking career, that's what I did. My primary focus was just weddings. I did commercial work on the side from time to time, but for the most part, weekend after weekend, it was wedding, 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 wedding. And that season was pretty lucrative, and I loved it. I got to travel all across the country shooting different types of stories, and one time even taking me as far as New Zealand to shoot a wedding. That one was definitely for the books. And even today, I still get messages from those couples saying, "Thank you so much for our wedding film. We watched it again this year on our anniversary." You don't really get that type of gratitude regularly in the commercial world. But there are pros and cons to both. I also knew that wedding filmmaking was just gonna be a season. I knew I didn't want to be in my 60s still shooting weddings every weekend. Some people still do that, and that's totally the prerogative, whatever works for those individuals. But I wanted freedom to write, to create, to control what happens on set, rather than capturing what's already happening. I wanted to try different types of filmmaking, different genres of filmmaking, and really escalate into a bigger sandbox, as it were. I was ready to push myself creatively. So as I was still juggling wedding work while also trying to semi-nurture the commercial work on the side, there kind of came a time where I needed to make a choice. I could either continue doing the wedding world, or I could really venture into the commercial world. This is the problem a lot of filmmakers face, is that they start out in weddings, want to make that jump to commercial, but really don't know how to bridge that gap. There are numerous ways to do this. I'm just going to share the steps I took to make that jump, as well as the steps that I wish I would have taken to make that jump a bit cleaner. So here are 7 basic steps to make that transition from wedding filmmaking to commercial filmmaking. Number 1, reduce your wedding work. First things first, you got to reduce how much wedding work you are doing. Don't cut it off completely. Just reduce it. If you're doing 20 wedding films a year, that's not enough time spent in the commercial realm if you really want to make that jump quickly. If you cut out wedding work completely without a game plan, without a financial base, you won't be able to sustain the transition period from wedding filmmaking to commercial filmmaking. That's just going to force you back into the wedding industry, maybe with a little grudge towards the commercial industry. So in summary, just reduce your wedding work. Number 2, split your brand. Wedding couples don't want to see your commercial work, and commercial clients don't really want to see your wedding work. Also, both industries speak a completely different language. You're not going to be asking the wedding couple the same questions you're asking a commercial client, and vice versa. You're not going to be asking your commercial client the same questions you're going to be asking your wedding couple. You are now marketing yourselves to a business that has customers rather than directly to a customer. Your sales funnel is going to look different, your contact sheet's going to look different, your about you is going to look different, so it's best to just split them up and let them exist in 2 different spaces. Number 3, and this is crucial. Underline this part like 10 times. Do lots of spec work, aka free work. You're gonna hate me for saying this, but in a lot of ways, you're really starting from scratch. Like many of you wedding filmmakers in the industry, you likely started your business doing a couple weddings here and there for free, or at least next to free. You had to get some skin in the game, so you did some weddings for free. Same thing applies to the commercial world. Future paying clients want to know you have the chops to provide them something with value, that there will be an ROI, return on investment, on the back end. If you go to them without having any work relating to the product or service that they're trying to promote, you likely won't get the job. Start seeking out businesses and companies that you want to work with and practice. Start shooting small videos for free for businesses, so that way when they get the video, they'll promote it on their social media. Make that part of your deal, that if you do this work for free for them, that they'll promote it on their social media and tag you, and that way you can reap the benefits of their audience and then start to grow your own. That will give them something of value that will also bring some eyeballs to your channel and your website. Now, there is some good news. You're already walking into the commercial world with a skillful advantage to those who are just starting out in the commercial world with no portfolio or no skills obtained over years. Being in the wedding world, you've had to find those best light scenarios. You've had to work with people who aren't comfortable on camera before. You've had to find those tough angles in a really crappy situation. So you have a good foundation of good fundamental filmmaking skills that you can bring and translate into these new settings where you have to move quick, you have to move fast, you have to find that good light very quickly. Commercial world still works really quick. It's not like we all just stand still and take our precious time with things. We do take more time, but you still need to move quick, and so those skills are going to translate really well. Utilize your friends list. This is actually a really good way to get a quick library of a variety of things. Call up your buddy that does woodworking, ask them if you can film them do some of their woodworking. Call up your friend that's a barista, ask if you can film them making coffee. Call up your friend that fishes or hunts and ask them if you can film them on a hunt trip or fishing trip or a camp trip. Call up your friend that owns a local business. Say, hey, can I film this? And make a spot for their business. You have a good foundation of people you can actually reach out to already. Just look through your contact sheet. You can also reach out via Instagram to a lot of these local businesses that will let you just come in and shoot some stuff. You never know until you ask. I have done a ton of free work over my career. I've been in filmmaking in general for 10 years and commercial filmmaking for about 6 years. When I wanted to film more craft beer, I filmed craft beer. When I wanted to shoot motorcycles, I filmed motorcycles. When I wanted to shoot music videos, I shot music. And sometimes you just do free work to nurture a relationship. That's because I'm analyzing who I'm doing free work for, how they benefit from my skills, how I can benefit from their skills and network, and how we can both benefit from each other down the road. Coffee break. This is actually a perfect time for us to tell you that today's sponsor is actually no one. I don't have any sponsors yet. Maybe the future will lead to more, but who knows? Right now, sponsored by you. But all in all, create a library of work and create a production reel. Number 4, understand the language. Like I said, as a wedding filmmaker, you are advertising directly to a wedding couple, to your customer. When selling to a couple, what they're looking for is essentially the quality of your videos. How well are you going to be able to capture our love story? When marketing and connecting with businesses, it's all about the value that you can offer them. They want to know that this video that you're going to create is going to get them results. It's all results based. How much money can I make off this video that you are going to create for me? Is this video you're producing for them going to make them money? How will it make them money? Do you have the knowledge that the video you're going to produce for them is going to produce revenue? If you can't convince a client of the value you are providing for them and that this video will give them results in the end, they're going to go to someone else who can give them that confidence. Essentially, it's all about the bottom line. You're going to get thrown a lot of new terminology like B2C, B2B, brand recognition, brand awareness, brand positioning, target demographics, revenue performance management, inbound marketing, churn rates, CPL, the funnel, SQL, metachlorians. The list is really endless. You don't necessarily need to memorize every little term, but having a good understanding of what they're looking for is definitely going to give you an edge above other filmmakers. It gives them confidence that you really have a handle on their needs of their company, which leads into my next point. Point 5, understand the needs. When approaching any kind of company, you need to do your homework. Get a good handle on what the business is and how they operate. Does the business you want to work with even have a need for a video? Check their website and social media channels. Are those videos good or are they bad? Most businesses who have a well-oiled machine, who already have a good plethora of videos, are less likely to switch things up if things are already working great. Unless you're Instagram. Again, we go back to value. What value do you offer that may differ from your competition? There needs to be an understanding of what gaps you can fill in their website, social media channels, and overall business. You need to convince them that you can help bridge that gap between business and customer. If I'm going to advise a client to invest in a certain ad or a certain way to market or advertise, I better know what I'm talking about. If you showcase to them that you've done the deep dive, that you've done the research on their business, you understand the message that they are trying to put forward, that will give them confidence that you're the right person for the job. Number 6, network. I'm not really going to explain this one. It's pretty self-explanatory in nearly every industry. Talk to people. So you've scaled back your wedding work, you've split your brands, you've done some spec work to create a good foundation, a basis of commercial work and get a good understanding and create a production reel. Now you've done some research in the commercial world and understand the needs of companies and figure out which companies you want to work with. And you've networked a bit. And now it's time to do some cold calling or cold emailing. Number 7, reach out. Now in the end, you're still dealing with people. They get a bunch of emails every single day from either different creatives or just, workload. The goal is to keep things short and sweet. Hit them with enough info that showcases you as an asset, but not enough to where it's a long email and they don't even read it. Reach out to these people via Instagram or walk into a local store if they have a local place. Get a name of a marketing director, or if it's a small business, even the owner. Find the director of marketing using LinkedIn. Even if you have one person's email from that said company, you can more than likely guess the owner or the director of marketing's email if you have their name. Usually it's like first name at saidcompany.com, first name, last letter at saidcompany.com, first letter, last name at saidcompany.com. The combination, you get the idea, right? Send out emails to all those addresses with a production reel. If you have nothing relevant for them to gander at, you gone. Use LinkedIn as a way to reach out to these individuals because they probably get hit a lot on their website and email, and LinkedIn might be a way for you to stand out, and it just could be a nice change of pace for them. Now, these aren't the only ways to do cold calling or cold emailing. They're just some ways that I've used in the past that have merited some form of success. Again, this is all gonna take time, so just start with your local network and build out from there. So that's about it. Those are my basic 7 steps to help you transition from wedding filmmaking to commercial filmmaking. Now I can already see in the comments there are going to be a bunch of people saying, you forgot about this, what about this, how do you do this? And yeah, there are probably lots of things I missed. So please leave them in the comments so I can make a part 2 to this video and say, here are more ways that you can transition from wedding filmmaking to commercial filmmaking. Like picking a niche or investing in different types of equipment. But a lot of these things you're gonna learn along the way as you continue to make your transition through. But as for right now, use these steps to get yourself started. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes along the way, but maybe this video will help you make less. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys found this information helpful, please like and subscribe, and then share this with other filmmakers that are also struggling with this transition. Maybe you're watching this and you've already made that transition and your story differs from mine. I would love to hear your story, so please leave that in the comments. Till next time, guys, I'm Evan Pollock telling you to keep it classy.